Calgary is a prime location for investment when it comes to real estate. Development. This place, as of 2021, had no structure.
Wow.
This property is for sale and it's going for about $100,000.
Oh, wow.
Some calls are chicken change.
Chicken change. 100,000 chicken change.
When I first came into the town, I know how difficult it was for me to integrate into even getting a house to rent as an immigrant.
Oh, wow.
Now having properties to rent out.
Wow. Wow.
You said in my local dialect, don't stay here, it's not a good place.
Oh.
In today's video, we are diving into the real life journey of a Nigerian immigrant who moved to Canada with big dreams and started from the scratch. From working as a ramp agent to becoming one of Calgary's trusted realtors, Mr. Nosa's story will show you what's possible if you are thinking of starting over in Canada or launching a business here.
Hello, PG.
Can you please introduce yourself?
You already know me, Mr. Godwin. First and first, my name is Nosa. I am a licensed real estate agent here in Alberta, Calgary. I am specialized in helping individuals buy their homes, whether you're selling, buying, investing, maybe you need it for family purpose or any other thing. I am here to have that done for you, right? So before real estate, I worked as a microbiologist and bringing in the scientific approach into life, I'm able to navigate through all the necessary waves in life as regards real estate to bring in good properties for my clients and for my investors. I'm a proud father. I'm also a loving husband.
Of course.
And I still try as much as possible to give her time and be passionate to helping people succeed in a new country like Canada.
Okay, Nosa, thank you very much for that. I'm just thinking, what was life for you back in Nigeria? Because I remember you said you did microbiology back home. So what was life for you? That's one. Secondly, did you ever maybe plan that you come to Canada?
I'll pick it one after the other. You know, growing up in Nigeria as a microbiologist, growing up in Nigeria has taught me a lot of things, the resilience in it and also the value for community, right? And things as metamorphosed beyond what you actually study in school. It's about you putting things together and doing things that are actually passionate to you, right?
Yes.
Real estate is a passionate thing. It has been something inherent in me. Even when growing up as a microbiologist scientist, I still want to acquire properties, keep them for some time, sell them, make some money off it, even when I'm doing my scientific
Of course.
in the lab, right?
Yeah.
So, and with that, I was able to actually make good thrive. And it was now a perfect place for me in Canada because I've actually gone through I've gone through the real hauling of turning metal into liquid, right?
Oh, yeah. Of course. And that's one thing about the Nigerians that people keep saying. Everyone just keeps saying that there's something unique about Nigerians, that anywhere they are, they find themselves successful. It's not wrong for me to say that you're a microbiologist.
Yes, I am.
And now you're also a realtor.
Yes.
Now in Calgary. Did you ever imagine that you'd go into real estate?
Yes. During my sojourn through life as in school days, right?
Okay.
I've always wanted to acquire properties, right? The educational part of it, of being in microbiology, put me on the entrepreneurship side of life, right? Because I also run business outside being a microbiologist, right? I did contracts with governments, did contracts with different organizations in Nigeria. I also had a medical lab and an environmental lab. Wow. So with that, I made money. I bought properties, invested in properties, because I know property is the fastest thing to multiply your money from, right? So coming to Canada was not an option for me, actually, but I saw the entry in it. I saw the real strength in it, and I am actually driven by helping people, right? And when I first come into the town, I know how difficult it was for me to integrate into even getting a house to rent as an immigrant,
Oh, wow.
not having properties to rent out.
I just remembered something that, while we're having conversation, you mentioned that when you originally moved to Nigeria, the first place you went to was Toronto.
To Canada.
Yeah, so so you moved from Toronto to Calgary, right?
Yes, I did that.
Yeah. So just tell us, why did you make that move?
My journey started with Nigeria to Toronto, which is Ontario, right? And when I got there, I found the need to pursue more studies, got myself educated, worked in the healthcare industry, oil and gas, and also in the aviation, where I worked in the airport as a ramp agent also. And over time, I realized that, oh God, what am I doing? Calgary offered more room for growth, especially when it comes to real estate, cost of living, opportunities, investments, lifestyle, and this aligns with my long-term goal. So why not?
Mm.
We
Wow.
made the move to the West.
I love that. We made the move to the West. I just also remembered when I was about to move into Canada, I called a friend too and asked. My plan was to go to Manitoba, but when I called out my friend, she said, "No, don't go to Manitoba. Come to Calgary. That it's a new place that is developing,
Okay.
and there is oil money here."
So to speak. But actually, there is.
Yeah, yeah. They said there's oil money, so I came in, and truly, I would say that there's no regrets. Calgary is a lovely place. It's a good place to be, actually. What would you say inspired you into going into real estate?
I cannot actually say inspiration. I can actually say the need to help.
Oh,
If you say inspiration, it will be something like I've long wanted to be in it, right?
okay.
But it's not something that I've actually created for to say, oh, I want to be a realtor, I must be a realtor, I must be there to make money, I must grow in the ranks, I want to be one of the biggest in Calgary or something. No. Right? It has to do with passion. It started with passion. I like to acquire property. I like to let my money work for me, which is the fastest way to grow your money in any economy. Real estate is the fastest way to grow your money.
Yeah.
And what actually made me remain in real estate is the ability to help others. A lot of immigrants are here that needs this assistance to be property owners in Canada. It's not just about making money from real estate.
Yeah.
Right? So this has informed my decision. And with that, I said, okay, if this is going to keep me in the helping side of life, assisting people actualize their dream, this is what I'm going to do. And this is what I've been doing. And this is what I'll keep doing.
That is inspiring. They say if you want to go into a business, you should think of providing value. And obviously, that's what I would say drove you into real estate market. But for someone out there who is thinking like, oh man, I have a passion to go into real estate, I have a passion to go into construction, I have a passion to go into say maybe vlogging though too. How would you tell them to start? I mean, the question I want to ask would be, what were the first steps you took, when you're going into the business, into the real estate world?
Okay. The first step I took when I decided to come into real estate, or when I became a real estate agent, or when I took real estate as a business. This is 3 years question. I must tell you, because and I'm going to answer the three in one, right? So first things first, I started by educating myself, right? Taking real estate courses and seminars to get myself informed about what is going on in the industry and learning from mentors. You must have a mentor. You must have somebody you go to say, oh, this is what I came across today. There's somebody you must look up to. I want to be this person. I like the way the person commits itself around real estate. I like the way the person put words together. I like the way the person makes deals happen and all those things. Those are where inspirations come from your mentor, right?
Yeah.
Then I focus on building my own network. Network is key in this industry, right? And understanding the Calgary market is another thing entirely. So you need to understand the local market, what is obtainable in the market. And also, I made a point to know not just the numbers, but also the communities and the people.
Wow, that's very insightful. What I'm just thinking also is if there's anything you want to go into, you should be very good at it. Like you said, you need to have a mentor, you need to know the onion of what you are doing.
Absolutely.
And that is key to whatever it is you want to go into and whatever business you want to do. Now, I'm just thinking as an immigrant, because
Okay.
one thing people say is the Western world, the racism and all of that. But I know Canada is a very wonderful place where,
Yes, it is.
yeah. So now, as an immigrant, were there challenges you face while you started out into?
Absolutely. There are challenges you face. You're coming from a different part of the world, different culture, different orientation. Like a friend of mine said, he said, and if you come to Canada, they will need to reformat you. Right? Like you need to be reformatted. Like you need to be reformatted. You need to learn on everything again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There were moments where I needed to work hard twice as I need to prove myself. Right? And there were moments because coming from a very different cultural background to build trust in a new market entirely where you are not known before, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all.
Yeah.
It was challenging, and
Yeah.
all you need to do is take every challenge as a stepping stone, right?
Mm.
Burn all the oil you need to do. And this made me sharper, it made me stronger, and more successful.
Yeah. Why you were saying this, what came to my mind is the idea that people usually have when coming into country like Canada.
Okay.
Is, man, everywhere is all rosy. I just go there, plug the money from the
Yeah.
tree, and I have everything I want. But what you're saying basically is there's hard work everywhere. You have to put in the hustle, you have to work hard. There are definitely going to be challenges. But particularly, I want to know what helped you to succeed in this field.
I can say consistency,
Consistency, yeah.
faith, and my community. Yes, I kept showing up even when it's a tough day. You just need to keep on doing what you need to do. And I surrounded myself with people who believed in me. That actually inspired me more because they believe in what I have to offer and they believed in my dream. And I never lose sight of my way. And I kept it so well that even in my family and my passion aligned together.
Wow. So when you said consistency in doing this, and there were times it was as though nothing, but you kept on doing it, you kept on staying the course and doing what you needed to do. And here you are now as one of the most successful realtor in Calgary. How would you compare the market here to what you have in Toronto?
Calgary offers a rare balance when it comes to affordability and opportunity, right? Compared to Toronto or Vancouver, you can get more value for your dollar here, right?
Yeah.
Both in terms of real estate and quality of life. And business-wise, Calgary is growing very fast. It's growing very fast.
Yeah.
There are a lot of developments.
Yes.
Tech in the tech industry, when it comes to immigration, immigrants coming in, and which means more demand and more opportunity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody need a house.
Oh,
need
of
a
course.
right?
I also need a house. All right. Like, what would you say is so unique about the Calgary market?
The rapid growth.
Hmm.
Right? We have seen rapid growth in Calgary market, especially in the suburb area in Calgary, where there are just new development coming up and new infrastructures are there. You buy for cheap, you sell later with passive appreciations on it already.
Yeah.
Because as soon as those communities grow to be more functional in the sense that healthcare system is there, transportation is there, busing is there, the community is now established. Properties in that area tends to be on the high, right?
Okay.
But in those suburb area, growths are going very fast because immigrants are coming, people are qualifying by the day, rates are coming down now, and a lot of people are qualifying for more mortgage. Everybody needs a house.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And there are a lot of demands for that. So local family, out of province investors, inventories of such are still high in the market, which creates opportunities for sellers and buyers.
Okay.
So why not? I can say it's a good time for you to come into the business if you want to buy a house.
From this response you just gave, and I totally agree with you in the sense you have more immigrants, coming in into Calgary, and seeing it as one of the things that makes the market unique. Unique. It's awesome. I totally agree with you. Now, I also want to ask, what type of clients do you work with? Do you work with more of families, the immigrants? I mean, just tell us what type of clients you work with.
Okay, you said immigrants, you said family, and I think you left out one part, the investors.
Yes.
Right. So to clients, I work with all. I work with all kind of clients. I actually love to work with first-time home buyers, especially newcomers to Canada, because I've been in their shoes. I've been in that situation where you need to have a house, where you need to rent a house, where you need to actually settle down. So I like to work with them, pull them through, explain to them the process, and ensure that they are well established here. And also, I work with families who are looking to upsize, right?
Yeah.
And they want to invest or increase their investment. And my job is to educate and ensure that they are properly represented. It is my fiduciary duties to my client.
Yeah.
To give them informed information that will give them an informed decision, that will enable them make an informed decision as regards what they want. So guidance is the key to everything.
Wow. You just mentioned that you even educate, because I remember when my team walked in, we saw you educating someone about properties, and it's just something. That's one thing I know. When I spoke to people about you, they said it that they can just call you and you spend your time for free. You don't charge anything. You just explain to them, explaining, trying to build that relationship and the community. The question I want to ask again now would be, because I know that with what is going on in the market right now, we're looking at the US market and look at the Canada market with Donald Trump and the 25% tariffs.
I understand.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, do you think it's still a good time to get a property here in Calgary?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, 100%. Real estate is one of the most stable ways to grow wet, right?
Yeah.
Calgary is still relatively cheap compared to other places in Canada. Any of all these, if you talk about Toronto, are you talking about Toronto? No, Ontario is expensive. If you talk about Vancouver, Vancouver is expensive. Calgary is mixed with the different classes where you can actually have real estate done at its best, right? So I would say 100%. It's still good.
It's still a good place to invest. Oh, wow. I mean, who else would be in the best position to help you get an apartment, especially for newcomers that are coming into the country? You, at the point, were also a newcomer in the country.
Yes.
And now you've been in the country for years. How many years now?
I've been in the country for over 5 years now.
Over 5 years. You may imagine, and you've made this tremendous success. That's inspiring.
Yes.
That's really, really inspiring. So for to the country, families that moving into the country, some moving in from Kenya, moving in from Nigeria, as a first-time potential homeowners, what would you advise them to go for?
I would say this. There is always what they call one step at a time. Start simple. You can either go for a duplex, a townhouse, entry level, simple family home are also great. But if you think of long term, like long term, you want your money to work for you, you can think of pre-construction opportunities. They allow you to get property early and watch the investment grow while you build equity over time.
At least one thing I even took from here is that it's even possible for someone who is just coming into the country to, have a home, right?
Yes, it's possible, but in everything you do, there's what they call the TNC. There's always terms and conditions to it.
Okay, yes.
Canada is not just a a country you come into and say you have the four ACs and you just want to jump to buying a house with all your cards. Me being somebody who actually assists people in investment, I wouldn't advise you to put all your money in one basket, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you're buying a house, for instance, you're buying a house for like 500,000 and you have the money cash, which you're bringing in from another country, I'll tell you, why not spread it around?
Okay.
And watch your money work for you instead of putting it into one property.
One property. Okay.
And you're stuck there with the property because you don't want to pay mortgage. Why I said terms and conditions applies, it now depends on the bank, on the financial institution, what you
Okay.
can get from them.
Okay.
Because there are different banks with different policies.
Oh.
You as a newcomer, there are banks who can accept you depending on the percentage you're putting down. There are other banks that don't appreciate, that don't work with newcomers.
Yeah.
There are other financial institutions that are good in having that granted, right? So
Yeah.
so having me as a realtor
Mm.
will, because I have a lot of mortgage people that I work with.
Okay.
And if you don't have people you work with, how can you be successful, right?
Of course.
So there are different mortgage institutions and different policies. So
Okay.
if you come in as a new immigrant, first thing I do is try as much as possible to make you go through several mortgage people, tell them your situation, tell them your circumstances, tell them what you have.
Okay.
And if that qualifies you, if that does not qualify you, if there are other programs on ground where you can leverage on opportunities they have in the bank, so you can maybe within 6 to 1 year time, you'll be ripe enough to actually get a house based on mortgage. There are different savings accounts you can open.
Yeah.
There are different investment accounts you can open that can jar you towards achieving that goal.
What about someone in Nigeria who wants to, have this investment? Like someone might be in Kenya, say in Ghana, or say in Nigeria that really want to invest. Like they want because they know that a rent in this part of the world, in Calgary, for instance, 3 bedroom apartment, the cheapest you see is around 2,000, right?
3 bedroom apartment on rent?
On rent.
Yes, the cheapest you can get is 2,000.
2,000. Okay.
Yes.
So now that's the cheapest you get, which is roughly about 2 million naira or 2.5 million naira in Nigeria. So someone in Nigeria now who wants to invest, do you think with the terms and the conditions, do you think it's possible for them? Do you think is it doable for you to be in Nigeria and invest in the market here?
No,
Okay.
no, it's a capital no, because 2 years back, and there's a renewal to that policy again this year. There was a foreign banned real estate. You cannot be a foreigner and have a property bought in Canada.
Oh.
It's not allowed. There's a ban to that. So it's either you are a resident of Canada
Okay.
or you are in Canada with a work permit.
Okay.
That gives you an edge to access funds from the bank, right?
Okay.
So you being a foreigner, whether you're coming into the country with a visitor's visa, you
Okay.
cannot buy a property,
Oh.
right? You can only buy properties when you are, maybe you have a work permit, you're working in Canada, that makes you a resident already, because your work permit can be substituted as a resident.
Okay, as a resident. So let's say if the person have a family who has a work permit or a friend who they trust who have a work permit or a permanent resident, they can also go through.
No, I would not be in the position to make that assumption, right? Because I think there are legal grounds surrounding that, and I'm not an expert when it comes to the law. I'm just a real estate agent. I won't want to leave my
Part and go into that moving to another person's. Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. What advice would you give to someone who is looking at you now and I feel like, wow, this guy is successful. I would like to be like him. So, what advice will you give to them as an immigrant?
Yes, first thing first, I would say is you don't have to have everything figured out, right? You don't have to be afraid to start. You have to start from somewhere. You don't need to learn the system. Find a mentor and believe in your vision. Somebody that is in the field that can actually give you an idea, an insight of what you're required to do. You must start from somewhere. Though it might be rough at the starting, but sooner or later you become a master of it if you're consistent in it. And just know that the only thing you can do for yourself is to open yourself to learning.
Oh.
You have to keep on learning. And remember, you come with something very unique to your foreign land.
Oh, yeah.
You come with something very unique on the table. As
Yeah.
an immigrant,
Yes.
use that as an advantage.
Wow. Use that as an advantage. As an immigrant, you come with something very, very unique. What one lesson have you learned all through these years of being into real estate world?
Yeah,
Is it possible to have just one lesson, but if you can put it together as one?
it's vast, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of lesson, right? But the only thing I want people to know, and which is 100 in me. 100, when I say 100, it means real, right?
Mm.
Your background doesn't define your future.
Mm. Mm.
Your background does not define your future. Whether you were a teacher back then home, you are an engineer, you worked in the healthcare. If you are willing to work, learn, and adapt, you will succeed in real estate or any business you intend to go into. Relationship matters, right?
Yeah.
And integrity always pays off long term.
Wow. Integrity? Oh boy.
Relationship, the integrity matters a lot.
Relationship, integrity. Don't joke with it. So when you come into a country like this, like you said, you can always start from anywhere.
Yes.
Your background should
Should
not
define you.
should not define you. Very, very important. Which is thank you so much. This is amazing. Coming from you, it's amazing. So how do you balance your personal life, work, and business, especially in Canada?
Oh, that's another wonderful one because it's constant work in progress.
Yeah.
Everything you do is work in progress. You must be very intentional about what you do, right? But I know definitely sometimes it takes time for you to say, oh, do I do this? My business will suffer. I need my family life. My family life will suffer. But all things have to come. But I make time for both family because I stay rooted in my culture. Keeps me on ground. It makes me want to interact with anybody at any time, at any given time. I'm able to balance it, and I treat my business like a mission. It's not as if I'm doing something. I take it like a mission, not as a job. I have a mission. I have a goal to meet. That mindset has helped me to stay aligned with my values, and that is why I'm still growing.
Wow. Starting out on YouTube, what I had in mind too was how do I offer value to people? And now hearing you saying that what you do is not a job for you, you are on a mission.
It's a mission.
Yeah, it's a mission for you because you want to see these immigrants who are coming in make the right decision, because many times people come in and make a lot of mistakes from beginning, and almost when they are getting to a certain age and they start feeling regrets all over.
Yes.
Regrets everywhere. When I entered the country, I think it was my first week in the country, I met the man where I went to do a training. He gave me a lift, and on our way back, he was just complaining. It was just regrets,
Okay.
like he even said something like, man, it's like it's better not to come to Canada, just stay back. And coming out from that place, meeting another person also who is successful, meeting the likes of you, successful, and yeah, all you have to say is good about the country, good about the country. You will know that it's just one thing: decision he made, decision he probably made when he can enter the country. If only there was someone there to advise from beginning, look, these are the steps to take, and I'm glad that that's what you're doing. You said you're on a mission to help these immigrants. When they come in, I need to educate you. These are the things you need to know. If you plan on getting a property, these are the steps you need to take. Plan. You start working towards that.
Your story and mine kind of align. When I came into the country, I was just like 3 or 4 days old. I met a friend, a old friend of mine. He's no longer in Canada now. We went for a ride. And they asked me, what are you doing? You staying back here? I said, yes. He said in my local dialect, don't stay here. It's not a good place.
Oh.
Don't stay here. It's not a good place. Sorry to say, I am a man of faith. I am very religious. When he said it, I said, I believe when people say there's a casting down, I say there's a lifting up.
It's a lifting up, yeah.
Right? If it's not good for you, That is you.
That's for you.
Not for me.
Yeah.
And when I got back, I spoke to my wife, and my wife said, what around that? I said, I just said it to you to know. It's not a subject of discussion whether here it's a good place or not.
Yeah.
My feet is here.
I've come to
If
see.
this land is not good, why I came. Now I'm here. This land will be
It
better.
becomes good. Yeah.
Right. So, and that's why I said my story and yours kind of align. But the best thing you can do for yourself is try as much as possible to associate yourself with positive driven mindsets. People with positive driven mind. Right. A lot of people have made wrong moves and they still believe in the wrong move and they don't want to go out of the wrong move. They still think patching it up is going to make it look better. And there are people who have actually bumped the night oil to achieve to be where they are today. And
Yeah.
you should be able to identify with them. Reach out to them.
Yes.
Ask them, how did you become successful? I still reach out to people to ask them questions.
Whoa, yeah.
Bro, I saw something. Whoa, good. How did you get here? What was it like? And get inspirations from them.
Oh, wow. I remember you mentioned that it's not just Calgary, you business span even to about Edmonton.
Lethbridge.
Yeah. So if someone around there or are in Canada wants to do a business with you or wants to get education about real estate, how would they reach you?
Yes, they can either reach me directly on my direct cell, which is 403-971-7787, or they can also come to my office, or they can follow me on social media. Instagram, my handle is No Stock Creators Inc. The same on Facebook, and the same on YouTube, and the same on the LinkedIn also, right? So I can be reached there. Feel free. I don't bite, and you're not paying for any consultation. I'm open to free consultations, right? You can. All you need to do is just give me a call. Let me know. I want to discuss issues with you. If it's not convenient for me, I'll tell you. I'll give you a call back when it's convenient, and I'll give you a time. But if I'm less busy at the time you give me a call, then we can have a conversation. There is no question that is stupid. I tell people there is no stupid question. All questions are relevant, no matter how you think it's stupid. The person asking has a reason for asking, and that satisfaction of an answer must be given.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here today. My name is Nosa. I'm with No Stop Creatives. We help people make dreams happen.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nosa, for sharing your story with us. A lot of people, I mean, immigrants, entrepreneurs, even dreamers, something that is of value to them today. And thank you so very much. I'm going to leave the details on the description so that if they want to reach you, they can reach out and maybe call you or write you on one of your platforms.
Okay.
So, thank you once again.
You're welcome anytime.